What's up? This is Ray with Get Real Ray, a space for life and business tips from this creative soul to hopefully inspire you on your journey, or at the very least, provide you with some laughs. And now, let's get real. Today, we are talking about things that you may be doing at work that if you are, you need to stop immediately because they are holding you back and they are totally weighing down your career growth. So, what is item number one that you should stop doing immediately? Apologizing. OMG, I find that this is a really big problem for females or those who identify as female, is that there is this tendency to apologize if given feedback, tendency to apologize if something has gone wrong that is totally not within their control. Just tendency to apologize for everything. Let me give you an example. Someone doesn't get an email because the email that they provided, well, they didn't type it correctly or provide it correctly, and that bounced back. And so place a call, the person says that they didn't get the email, you provide back the information that they had given you, and they go, oh, yeah, sorry, forgot to tell you, I actually spelled Wilson with 2 L's, or, oh yeah, actually my email address changed. Okay, well, they didn't get the message not because you didn't send the email, but because they didn't give you the updated information. And if they're apologizing, that's fine. They realize that an error was made and they're apologizing for it. But if you're apologizing, oh, I'm so sorry you didn't get the email. Oh, I'm so sorry I spelled that wrong. Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't know your email address changed. Why are you apologizing? Like, why? They didn't tell you that email address changed. They didn't tell you that they spelled Wilson really weird. I'm just saying, why are you apologizing? Stop apologizing. I have worked with a lot of individuals, and this is very common with young women, where I might say to them, okay, so here is the updated manual, and this is the new policies that we're going to follow in terms of communicating with clients. And they will apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Wait, what? The manual was just updated. I'm now telling you there's an updated manual. How were you supposed to know that there was an updated manual so you can do your part of the job? If I never told you, if I never gave you that information, why are you apologizing? Or, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I talked to so-and-so's mom, and they said that their kid is not going to be in class tomorrow because they have a doctor's appointment. Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Wait, what, huh? Why are you sorry? The kid has a doctor's appointment. Did you make them sick? Did you schedule that appointment at the same time as your class? Like, dude, stop apologizing. So if you are chronically apologizing for things that are not within your control, stop apologizing. Instead, take a breath, take a pause, think about what has been said to you, and think about if that warrants a need for an apology. Go back to what is the purpose of an apology. When someone gets hurt, physically injured, we say, I'm sorry, because we want for that other person to understand that we are not happy about their pain and we want for them to get better. When someone's feelings are hurt, right? When you're like in kindergarten and someone says, I'm sad, and then the other kindergarten goes, I'm sorry. That's our way of saying, I understand you are sad, and I feel bad that you feel this way, and I want for you to feel better. Now, chances are, I don't know what kind of work you do, so if you do like drive, lift, right, and you're moving pallets and you hit somebody with a pallet, I am so laughing right now, but yes, please apologize for that. Like, don't just like straight ram into people. But otherwise, chances are you probably haven't caused any physical injury. And you probably don't need to sympathize with someone's emotions about a project if it's not like a big deal. So stop apologizing. Okay. Career killer number 2, excuses. Oh, I hate them. Please stop them. Now, is it just me? I will be honest. This is something that most managers and business owners hate. We don't care about excuses. We don't care why you were late to work. We do not care why you had to eat during class for 30 minutes. We don't care. We don't care. Let me stress that. We just want for things to get done the way they need to get done. And if you know that it's something within your control, A, don't apologize, and B, don't tell us about it. Just take the note and keep it moving. I have a number of individuals who not only make excuses constantly, oh yeah, I don't know that. Well, why not do some research? Or why not ask a question to tell us why you don't know, right? The employee who is willing to not make excuses, who is willing to take responsibility for things that are within their control, and mistakes, right? And the employee who is willing to ask questions, this employee is the one that a manager is going to look towards as a leader for when there's either a new position opening, a management position opening, or just an opportunity for pay increases. One of my favorite excuse moments was when I said to a team member, why did you post online a picture of a ballet dancer in pointe shoes? We don't offer that kind of class. We don't offer pointe. And it sends a message that this is something we provide, and we don't. And the response was, oh, I don't know anything about ballet. I didn't know. And I thought, well, A, that's not true, because I know you took ballet when you were younger. And B, if you really didn't know, why not just ask? So you see, that individual just didn't put any thought into the work. They just wanted to get something done and say that they did it. And, you know, if you are someone who is working for a big organization, or you have employees that work for a big organization, then you know that you're going to have a number of people who just kind of want to get a paycheck, and they don't really care about putting in time into their work. They don't really care about good results, right? And these are the people that usually don't last in the job for very long, or never move out of the position that they're in. They just don't progress. And for a lot of people, that's fine. They don't really want a promotion. They don't want more responsibility. They don't seem to want more money. However, if you want to move forward in your career, then yeah, save the excuses, because no one cares. Sorry. Job killer number 3. Oh my. Okay, if you are doing this, then please stop assuming you know everything. I have been a victim of this myself as an employee. I worked with one company where there was a lot of dysfunction within that company, and I knew I had taken a position that had not the greatest pay, but it had really flexible hours, and there really wasn't much responsibility. And so I took that position because I wanted the flexibility of being able to do other things. However, I created a negative situation for myself, because there was a point where I felt like I do not respect my supervisor. I think my supervisor spends like the morning shopping online, and then what really gets done? And I had even complained to a coworker, like, I could do that job. I've done that job. And in truth, I had done that job, or a job very similar to it. I later realized that not only was I creating a negative situation within my work environment, but I didn't have the full story on my supervisor. And though I had seen instances where I thought, this woman is crazy, how on earth can people work like this? I later had an opportunity to learn more about my supervisor, learn more about how she worked the way she did, learn more about her role, and I realized that there were things that she did in her job that I did not have experience with doing. I also realized that she was just an awesome person, and she was in a position where she was very limited in what she could do. So by assuming I knew everything about her situation as well as about the job itself, I was not opening myself up to learning new things. I have certainly hired teachers who have years of experience teaching, and when I give them feedback, hey, can we try doing this in your class? Like, how do you feel about that? I immediately get this really resistant, defensive response where it's just kind of like, oh, I can't do that. That's how the way I teach is the way that grandmasters teach, and I have had tons of success, and I have had tons of success in my other companies, and I'm the best, and I know what I'm doing. Great. However, as a person who is paying you, if I'm asking you to do something or try something that I think would increase my bottom line, then instead of shutting me down, maybe take a moment to think about whether or not there's at least some middle ground, right? Those people who have been completely defensive when it comes to asking for change and modifications in their work, I automatically put them on my list of, this isn't going to last. And I know to monitor their performance. And usually there is not a contract renewal, or I will structure things in such a way where I do not see our relationship continuing, because you've already shown me that there is no room for communication and progress. So if you just want to do what you want to do and you're not interested in what the business needs are, then you need to go work for another business. I'm okay with that. And if you're okay with that, cool. All right. Job killer number 4, forgetting your role. Okay, so for my peeps who have had a lot of experience and job killer number 4, forgetting your role. Okay, so for my peeps who have had a lot of experience, you're maybe in a position that you just do not want to be in, or you know you shouldn't be in. This is gonna be hard for you. It was hard for me. And you have to remember why you've chosen to do the thing you are doing. Why are you in that job? If you were in that job just to get some extra cash until your own venture pops off, right? Until your music takes off, until your acting career takes off, until your business hits 6 figures, just did it. Then remember to be respectful and mindful of the position you are in and the position you have chosen to take. Let me be clear. You chose to take that position. Now, I have certainly worked with people who have come in and decided that they knew more than I did. I remember working choreographing they knew more than I did. I remember choreographing a piece where I hired some dancers, and there was this understanding that dancers who miss rehearsal will be putting in practice outside rehearsal. And I remember one dancer being really rude, disruptive, and explosive during rehearsal, saying the rehearsals were unprofessional, and why should he have to put in more work when the other team didn't rehearse the last session. And who was he going to learn from? Was he going to learn from me? And there was like this look on his face like he had just eaten poop, and basically it was just kind of like, I'm disgusting, right? That was very frustrating and disruptive for me, because I just felt like, wow, suddenly this person is pouring out all this hate and I did not see this coming. However, um, with that particular situation, arrangements have been made that this person maybe was not privy to, or maybe just didn't care about, but there were certain expectations that were supposed to be met by all parties, and his party did not deliver. So the fact that but he walked away from the project, I fired him, I don't know where you want to put it, right? The fact that we no longer worked together after that moment was totally fine, because it wasn't a good fit, and that's fine. However, by choosing to take the position and to work with me, and whether or not you think I'm like the worst choreographer ever, you chose to take that position. So, at the very least, put in the effort, right? I remember working at a school where I was really just fed up with the person who was assigned to be kind of an intermediary between myself and it's just a representative of the school, right? And I just thought, this woman does not know what she's doing, and she is just more concerned with, being the kids' best friends or whatever. And this system that they designed is not working. It's really frustrating. And I had made a suggestion to her, like, hey, maybe you can try doing this because I don't understand X, Y, Z. And she got really offended. And she messaged my boss and was just like, I've never had someone come in and tell me how to do my job. And I was just like, oh, I was actually trying to be helpful because I do have experience and knowledge and wisdom, and I thought maybe you might find this helpful. But what my supervisor pointed out to me was, it actually wasn't my place. Even though I was not coming from a bad place, bad intentions, I wasn't in a position where she felt I could be her equal, because I wasn't her equal. Now, if my supervisor had given her this advice or tip, then that is a peer-to-peer relationship, and she would be completely receptive to it. But I was technically below her and supposed to do what she said, and so by my questioning her abilities, I just forgot my role. I wasn't honoring my role. This can happen a lot when you are in a contractor position, right? You're a freelancer, you're bringing your talent to someone else's table, and you're trying to help make sure that all parties are educated in the services you provide. But it can also happen a lot when you are someone who is either older and experienced, or you just have more knowledge on something and you want to share. However, you are not in a title that allows for a mutual exchange of ideas. Now, some companies and cultures will support an exchange of ideas regardless of your paycheck, regardless of your title. There's a kind of joke in my business where I say, make an executive decision. And I will have our administrative team just throw ideas at me, and we'll just kind of brainstorm together. They're not paid to be able to make decisions in terms of whether or not that email goes out, whether or not that ad gets placed, right? But I have empowered them with the tools to be able to make decisions without waiting for someone else to micromanage and quadruple check, right? So if it's something really small that I think they can handle, I say make an executive decision. And as long as you can back up your decision and explain to me why you made that decision, how can I fault that? How can I fault that? So if I asked you to send an email with 4 talking points and you did not have all the data for those 4 talking points and you knew that email had to go out today, and you can't get a hold of me or you can't get a hold of another team member to give you the information that you need, then you have to make an executive decision. Either that email is going out with the data that you have, or that email is going to not go out. My team knows that I would much rather have that email go out with the data that you have and just remove the other talking points and just say to me, we sent the email with the most urgent information because we knew it had to go out today and we didn't have the remaining talking points. Done, 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 right? So remember your role. Career killer number 5. Career killer number 5, OMG, winging it. So if you are super busy, I get it. I've been there. I've been that, like at one point, legit in high school, the joke was, how many jobs do you have now, Ray? Yeah, at one point I had 3 jobs while being a full-time high school student. Yay! So if you are somebody who's just super busy, maybe you have kids to take care of, or parents, elderly family members to take care of. You are holding down your job in addition to maybe running your own business or auditioning, building a Frankenstein. Like, I don't know what you do with your life, but legit, if you are just crazy busy and you find that you do not have time to prepare and provide your very best at your job, then you have to take a step back and ask yourself, how can you sustain this? Chances are you probably can't, right? So for a number of years, I would just kind of show up to my class and I have a really rough outline of what I wanted to teach, or the really worst thing was when I just did not have any time to prepare and I would show up to class and be like, oh my goodness, I hope the students know what we did last time, and we're about to play some games because I haven't had time to prepare and I really don't know. And it's a really stressful place to work from. It really is. So if you're the type of person who just doesn't prepare for business meetings and just kind of goes in and says, oh, I'm just going to give this presentation and, let's see what happens, then you are not allowing yourself to present your best work. Yeah. So even though I've had tons of really fun classes where I winged it, the truth is I wasn't allowing myself to present my best work, because though the class was fun, it could have been amazing had I had more time to prepare. So if you don't have time to prepare, if you find yourself rushing to write that blog post the day that it is due, and then you're frustrated because it took you 4 hours to write it, and your shoulders hurt, and your back hurts, and you tried to get the ebook done, and you had to ask them for extension because you're just not going to get it done. Take a look at with the few days prior to that moment. What did they consist of? Did it consist of you watching TV, hanging out, watching Netflix? Did it consist of you on social media, goofing around, right? If you are not setting yourself up for success by planning what your priorities are and how you'll go ahead and achieve your goals and meet those priorities and those deadlines, then you're just creating unnecessary stress for yourself. And yeah, what fun is that? I mean, stress, wrinkles, weight gain, heart problems, sweat. Oh my gosh, you guys, sweat, stinky. I'm just saying. So save yourself the trouble, save the drama for somebody else's mama, because you ain't got time for that. Stop winging it and start planning ahead. I hope that you found these somewhat helpful and giving you some things to think about. Are you guilty of committing one of these workplace crimes? Are you the person who wings it or forgets your plates? Are you the person who makes constant excuses? I would love to know in the comments below. I want to hear from you. So thank you so much, my friends. As always, I wish you all the best. Please be well and live your best life. And until next time, peace.